But I swear to God, to this day, I think he was dead serious.
Really?
Yeah, because years later I saw Bruno Kirby, and I'm telling you, man, all those guys say that. I'm telling you, the way they shake your hand and everything.
Yeah.
And Bruno Kirby, this is what he said to me. It freaked me out. He goes, "So I heard you met Joe." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How did that go?"
How did that go?
Yeah, you know what? He scared me, and he just kind of smiled, and then he asked me, which is another freaky story. I don't want to get into because I'm just scared to death about it.
Holy shit!
He goes, "You like doing movies like this?" And I went, "Yeah." He goes, "I think you'll be doing more movies like this." But it was that's a whole different subject.
Wow, that is.
And we'll spend
weird,
another whole
man.
freaking day doing this, but I'm afraid I'll get whacked. I don't even want to talk about it.
I don't even want to talk about it.
But,
Intense.
dude, and then it ended by him going, which Jimmy would freaking love. He goes, "Now listen, Jim." He started calling me Jimmy and Jimbo, which I instantly was like, "Oh God, thank God this is over." He's going, "Jimbo, here's what we're doing. Here's how it goes down. You tell me how to do the sketch, and then I tell Bobby. Bobby ain't doing no dress rehearsal bullshit." He goes, "They tell us we got to hear for dress. We ain't doing no dress rehearsal bullshit. Bobby don't do that. So I tell Bobby, we'll come on, we do. You don't have a problem with that, right?" We're like, "No problem." As soon as they left, I ran to Lorne. I'm like, "Lorne, is that not doing it?" And that's when I realized how powerful Lorne was. Because I said, "He's not coming." And Lorne just calmly drinking his soda. He's like, "He'll be here." I went, "I'm telling you," he said, "De Niro." He said, "De Niro will be here for the dress." And he held out all the way until the sketch started. When the sketch started, I looked over. De Niro was not there, and they said De Niro's not showing up because he just found out the show was live. That's how cool he was back then. Never did TV ever. This is his first TV appearance ever. So he found out the show was live. I'm not doing it. No. I don't do live. I don't do live. I'm not doing live. Jesus. So they dressed up Daryl Hammond as a fake De Niro to walk out with Pesci, which was so stupid. So they were going to have a real Pesci, fake De Niro, talking to me, the fake Pesci, and Colin Quinn as a fake De Niro.
Yeah.
And when the sketch started, I looked over to Daryl. I went, "Daryl, please tell me he's here." And he went, "I'm sorry, he's not here." And so we started the sketch.
It's a good Daryl, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Captured his soul.
Yeah. And I was depressed, and I felt bad for Rob Lowe because I gave him nothing, and I half-assed the sketch. And I went, "Oh, and that's it. That's a joke." And all of a sudden I heard, and I turned around, and I saw the famous hat and the look, and De Niro and Pesci standing, and I got chills just thinking about it. And I just remembered him. He smelled like wine. He reeked of red wine. And he never blurred his line. Every time it was time for his lines, it would just be dead air, and Pesci would nudge him. And Pesci would give a nudge, and then De Niro would go like, De Niro literally looked at Pesci, and he goes, "What?" He goes, and he goes, whoa. And he points at Colin Quinn. He goes, "Who are you supposed to be?" 20 minutes of ovations. And then in between the shows, Lorne sits you down. This is what Lorne says. "Jim, you really have to interrupt the ovation. I can't have 3 minutes of just screaming. You need to get into this." I'm like, "I'm not cutting off."
Yeah, you're cutting him off.
That, right?
And if you watch the rerun to this day, I half-ass the first 30 seconds while they're on. Then you go on YouTube and watch it.
Yeah.
While they're on, I'm going, "Mr. Pesci, Mr. De Niro." I'm saying it so low because I'm not stopping the crowd from going nuts.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Colin was fucking hysterical on that too.
Colin Quinn, remote control. He was
Colin
great.
By the way,
really funny
Lorne
on
got
that.
fucking De Niro on Fallon's show. He was the first guest.
Dude.
You're right.
Oh,
Lorne's
really?
a powerful guy.
Powerful.
He's a powerful dude, man.
Powerful.
He got De Niro to do an interview on Fallon's, who's not the interviewer like that Letterman is, or a lot of guys who've been doing it for 20 years.
Dude, Lorne
That is huge.
powerful.
God.
His best friend's a Beatle. Show's over.
Who?
McCartney.
Are they friends?
Yes. Dude, Lauren's power.
That was one of the...
He couldn't get the Beatle thing together, though. It came close, right?
No, that was a bit that was hysterical years and years and years ago. When, like,
what was it? Lennon and
kid.
McCartney.
It's so funny to
sitting
see
around
Lauren,
and going, "Let's go to SNL," and it almost happened. I forgot the story.
I just remember the bit from when Lauren was like a fucking kid. It was the first season, I think, of SNL.
He looked so young,
and he looked like it's not even the same guy. It's a complete different entity now.
Yeah,
but he came out with a check for like $1,000.
Oh, okay,
he goes, "I'm offering the Beatles $1,000 to appear on this show," and it was like you're watching, going, "This is ridiculous."
Right,
it's hysterical.
But then the other side of that, they were going to do it as a goof and just walk on one
Maybe
night.
later, yeah, much later.
It was in a few of the Beatles books that they were thinking about. It came really close to just doing it.
Wow.
I don't remember now. I think it was just Lennon McCartney.
That's right. Lauren even goes
one night in New York.
He said something like, you could split it up however you want. You could give Ringo less.
That's funny.
That was good, man.
I got all jealous when I saw that Dana Carvey special when he talked about smoking a joint with Paul McCartney and Lorne Michaels. And I was like, you were out with McCartney.
Pretty good night.
Yeah.
Ozzy's a big McCartney fan, too. He speaks very hero worship. He talks about McCartney the way I talk about him. It's humiliating.
Dude, all the English guys.
Lemmy.
Brian Johnson, AC/DC. I saw him down in Florida. He spoke a half hour on McCartney. He's like, Jim, I'm telling you, my son, it's the greatest thing you ever seen in your life. He comes out and he you ever hear the Blackbird song, the little Bluebird song? He goes into the store, he sits down, it's a nice setting, and he tells about his first time in America. And he says, we came to America and we said, this is the greatest new land in the world, and the open-mindedness of the whole situation, and we couldn't wait to be here. And then we went on a bus and we noticed the Negroes were in the back. And that's when we realized, wow, maybe this country isn't as far advanced as we thought it was. So that's why we wrote, we never finished the lyrics. So this is for me and George. And he goes into the little blackbirds. And I was like, I never knew that's what that song was about.
No clue.
A black chick on the bus? I thought it was about a bird.
What the fuck is that about?
But the way he talked,
they worship McCartney.
They worship
all of them.
McCartney.
I knew Ozzy did, but I was surprised when I asked Lemmy who because Lenny, he's just a crank animal. Lemmy's an animal.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, I mean, like a hero worship. It's really great.
Yeah.
I love the fact that those guys love him.
Yes. And then it makes you wonder more about, let me investigate him more. He really is a god. He's a god.
And he's a fan of mine, which was weird because it's like circular.
Lemmy?
No, McCartney.
Oh, sick.
I made that up.
Oh, wow.
He wouldn't know me if I jumped up and down yelling Beatles.
You never know.
No, I just wanted to see what that felt like coming out. Yeah. Wonderful, by the way. Wonderful.
A lot of SNL stories in the book, Breuer.
Yeah.
I like your Chris Farley stuff. I like that, you're talking about hanging out with Tracy Morgan and the crazy fucking times you guys got into.
Tracy's the raping Will. We used to repeatedly rape Will.
That's right.
We used to rape Will Ferrell just to make him break character, because he dressed up as a character for like 2 straight weeks. It was so annoying. It was so annoying because you're like, Will. He's like, I'm not Will. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Right.
Enough already.
All right, well, Ron, can we talk? He's like, I'm busy this week with art. And so this went on for weeks and weeks. And Tracy could never pronounce his name right. He called him Ferrell. Will Ferrell. He'd be like, let's play characters and break Will Ferrell. Let's rape him. And so me, Colin Quinn, and Tracy repeatedly fake raped him for hours. We leave him in a dumpster, take his clothes off. And he would never break character. It was so obnoxious.
Oh, that's nasty.
Will Ferrell. Tracy would be in the doorway as we're fake raping, as we're literally pulling his pants down. Tracy would be in the doorway with an unlit cigarette going, hurry up and save me some of that.
How many years were you on?
Maniac.
Just 3.
Oh, that's okay. I thought it was actually less than that. 3.
3 years. And that was just enough.
You like Lauren? You guys have a good relationship?
I thank God ended. I love Lauren. Always really respected Lauren. And I always Lauren's one of those guys that they're like a hidden prophet. He comes and tells you, and about 3 years later, you go, "Oh shit!" Now I understand what he was saying. And he would always go out of his way to give me advice. And, even at the end when I said, I really wanted to quit because I couldn't stand the head writer there anymore. And he's like, Jim, you're too nice for this industry. You're too nice for the show. It first started off with him going, why don't you take him out to dinner? I'm like, all right, I'll call him and I'll see him at dinner. But, and the guy totally denies it. Oh, dude, no, I'm not trying to fire you. No, look, I know you are.
Is he still there or no?
No, he went off and started writing for Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
He writes for Will Ferrell.
I did Colin Quinn's show when he did the Monday Night Live. I did 2 of the 3, and we had to go in and pitch. We had to go into Lauren's office and have those meetings. So I knew who Lauren was, of course.
Yeah.
But the impact didn't have a big deal on me because I was never an SNL fan. But in hindsight, I realized that was a very nerve-wracking experience.
Well,
those 2 weeks.
As you move on, you realize, wow, this guy is a king.
Yeah.
He's a king. So be careful. This is when I realized how powerful Lorne Michaels was, too, because whenever I go to Hollywood, try to get a deal, whatever, a lot of times the first question they ask, everything good with you and Lorne? And you're like, well, what's that got to do with this? What's this got to do? They
don't want to fuck shit up.
He's bigger than everyone thinks he is, man. He's bigger than everyone thinks he is.
When was the last time you watched a Saturday Night Live?
When De Niro hosted.
Really?
I was on the road, and I was dying to watch when De Niro hosted.
When was that?
I want to say it was Fallon was still on, so I want to say it was years ago. So, and De Niro put on the elf. He dressed up as an elf, and he was like this little flaky elf, and I was howling. It was a great episode. And then Freddie Armisen, I graduated high school with. So once in a while, I would see what Freddie's up to.
Wait, did you guys know each other in high school? And all that?
Did.
That's so weird. That's fucking
that
weird.
Is an odd little thing.
Yeah.
I don't think Freddie. I don't know this for a fact. Freddie was into his own. Freddie had a mohawk before mohawks were cool.
So it looked like a lunatic.
Yes,
Yeah.
but he wasn't a lunatic. He was. I can't explain it. His beautiful sister.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Older or younger?
Younger. I was friends with his sister. Sister was just drop dead beautiful. Freddie, he always made. I don't think he liked me. I don't think he liked my. He was into like his own little crowd, and his crowd was like they were into Dead Kennedys or really obscure bands.
A little too hip for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
To this day, I'm
more
sure.
Straightforward rock guy.
I was a little not bothered, but when he got Saturday Night Live, I was excited. Like, oh wow, a guy from my high school, and I tried everything to get him on radio. I tried everything and every time I talked, he was just very distant and refuses. And I went, all right.
He wouldn't come on your radio show?
No.
Maybe you were an asshole in high school.
Maybe he thought you were banging his sister.
Yes.
Trust me,
That goes
I
back
never
to high
did.
school.
But maybe that's what he thought.
Maybe. No, he would have known.
It has to do with high
didn't
school.
know.
Something happened in high school.
I think so.
Maybe you banged a chick that he liked.
I can assure you I didn't. Because I was dating a girl from a Catholic, so it wasn't even. I never dated anyone from my high school, so maybe it was my Judas Priest denim jacket that bothered me.
Yeah, you were probably just one of the.
You guys would have a lot to talk
crowd.
about too. That's
so much,
That's weird.
So much.
Really fast. The Lane in Jersey. Jim's Lauren Michaels' impression sounds like Dr. Evil.
It is.
Yeah, well,
It's
a
the
lot
same
of
thing.
Yeah, well, they've said that character is Lauren Michaels.
Yeah, it
right?
is. Absolutely.
Yeah, Mike Myers.
Matter of fact,
came up with Dr. Evil.
Michael Myers has never.
We had him on the show once.
I have a conspiracy about Michael.
Yeah?
About him doing the Dr. Evil and all that, which I could be wrong, but here's my conspiracy. For some reason, I think he left and not happy about leaving SNL, and so he wrote that movie because it's as a Saturday Night Live cast member, that movie is all about Saturday Night Live. All about Saturday Night Live. Dr. Evil is Lorne. All the people that have the henchmen, that's all like the head writers and producers. I sat there and belly laughed watching this thing. But he came on